We begin with breaking news on the scrapyard fire in Providence. We've just learned Rhode Island Recycled Metals has agreed to stay closed until a court hearing on Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Kalunian.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. That's the scrapyard that saw a massive fire today and has faced intense regulatory scrutiny from both city and state officials. Some are calling it a major environmental concern, noting that fire crews were there for another fire back in April. Today, the flames were visible all across the East Bay. These images were taken by a viewer using a drone, showing the heavy, black, thick smoke filling the air as firefighters also battled the hot temperatures. 12 News reporter Sheena Losciuto arrived on scene just moments after the calls came in. She joins us live from there now. Sheena?
Well, the scene was right behind me. You can see it. We're right off of Allens Avenue, but like you just mentioned, you could really see that smoke from miles and miles away today. The burning materials did not make things any easier for firefighters. $300 to 500 gallons of water per minute from 6 different hoses. Dozens of Providence firefighters battle heavy smoke and flames from a scrapyard.
Given the weather today being very hot, we're concerned about the firefighters' condition as well as the condition of the pile here.
Providence's fire chief says it's a tough fire to extinguish. Crews were on scene for hours.
We do believe this is accidental, but we're going to investigate and figure it out.
All while also battling hot temperatures. Crews were rotated out to avoid any heat exhaustion.
Weather, I mean, for everyday folks, it's a chore to stay hydrated. For them, it's probably 10 times worse.
The Providence Canteen playing a vital role for the firefighters. The volunteer group shows up to scenes around the state to help hydrate, feed, and rehab first responders.
They'll wring the towel out on their heads, put them around their necks so they can stay hydrated in that sense of it.
And today, that also includes members of the DEM and the Coast Guard who are helping test the air from the smoke.
We also recognized, given the location of the scrap metal pile, close to the water and the air quality around this area, we deployed our hazardous materials team with air monitoring here on site.
And really, there are a few layers to this story, and a lot of it is developing in the last hour or so. We just learned that the scrap metal yard will be closed until at least Friday for a hearing. And I just heard back from a spokesperson from the scrap yard. They tell me they do not believe that there will be any, quote, meaningful impact on the environment from today's fire. They just sent us a statement reading in part, quote, you should see it on your screen here. While our practices and procedures already exceed industry standards, we will look to modify and strengthen RIRM's best practices. We plan to reopen on Monday after the cleanup and collaboration with city and state officials. Now, we'll have that full statement for you on WPRI.com and a little bit more about the history with this business and how exactly they got to today. The AG's office also just weighed in. We'll have that on WPRI.com. I'll be back at 6 o'clock with another full report. Reporting live in Providence, I'm Sheena Losciuto, 12 News.
First breaking news, Attorney General Peter Nerona says he'll be filing an injunction to shut down Rhode Island Recycled Metals following the second fire this year at the Providence scrapyard. We've learned the business has agreed to remain closed until a Superior Court hearing scheduled for Friday morning.
Today's fire prompted another barrage of complaints from Providence's mayor, city councilors, state lawmakers, and even Save the Bay. Our Sheena Losciuto joins us live from outside the scrapyard on Allens Avenue with what else she's learned tonight. Sheena.
Well, this was no minor fire. It was huge. You could really see the intense smoke from miles and miles away. And today we spoke to a Providence city councilor here on scene who says they're hoping this is the fire that proves to everyone the scrapyard must go. Thick, black, heavy smoke and flames rising from a pile of scrap metal. Firefighters rushed to Allens Avenue around 11 Wednesday morning.
Which are large volumes of water, 300 to 500 gallons a minute. We have 6 of those going to try to contain and extinguish the fire.
From the burning materials to the already intense temperatures.
It's a deep-seated, very hard fire to extinguish.
Firefighters had their work cut out for them.
We also recognized, given the location of the scrap metal pile, close to the water and the air quality around this area, we deployed our hazardous materials team with air monitoring here on site.
Providence Fire Chief Derek Silva says so far the air quality they've been testing has been okay, but both the Coast Guard and DEM are helping monitor that. This is not the first time crews have battled a fire here. In fact, a fire broke out at the Rhode Island Recycled Metals back in April.
People down here should not be breathing all the contaminants that are here. It needs to stop, like, immediately right now.
City Councilor Pedro Espinal is one of several elected officials calling on the site to shut down. The company has faced intense regulatory scrutiny from both city and state officials.
I passed a resolution to the council calling for the closure of this place. So it's been an ongoing matter for years and years, decades, and it has not been regulated.
Now, the company in question here is Rhode Island Recycled Metals. I just got a statement from a spokesperson who represents them. They tell me they do not believe that today's fire will have any, quote, meaningful impact on the environment. Again, a lot of people are criticizing that statement. However, the scrapyard company says they are working with investigators, and it's their plan right now to reopen on Monday. We have their full statement and really more background on how exactly we got here today on WPRI.com. For now, reporting live in Providence, I'm Sheena Loshudo, 12 News.